And hello, everybody. This is Jerry Serino from the Median Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, I am your host. Really grateful for all of you and all of you who are following us on social media with at Cleveland Right to Life or joining on our podcast apps as well as our website fromthemedian.org. I really appreciate all of you being here with us and for us. My guest today is Christy Edwards. Christy is an author of a book called Charlie Kirk in His Own Words. She's also very outspoken, and she's going to speak to us today about all that she's doing, including her book. Christy, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, we'll get into the book because I'm very interested in all surrounding the book and everything. Because
Sure.
Charlie Kirk was, a wonderful person, and
hmm
obviously met a very, very tragic end. But tell me a little bit about Christy Edwards, where you're at, where you live, what you're doing,
Oh,
and how you
goodness.
got here.
In Scottsdale, the last 6 years, Arizona. It's 130 degrees today. No, I absolutely love being here. It's quiet and serene, beautiful all over. Started my political career, I guess, back in Boise, Idaho, and Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I split time, and that's where I met Charlie for the first time. Was in Jackson, Wyoming, and but he was like 18 or 19 years old
Okay,
at the time, and I have two adult children who are married, and at that time though they were in like high school, junior high and high school. And so Charlie, for what he was doing at that time, starting the youth movement, it was a beautiful, perfect fit and a wonderful mentor for the children, and got them immediately involved in Turning Point. But at that time, of course, Trump was putting in his first bid for the presidency,
okay,
and so we both immediately threw in the hat and started working on the Trump campaign right away. And we both were fundraising and working very hard. And he wasn't President Trump at the time; he was just a
right,
candidate. And
yeah,
so that's what we both did it right away. Immediately was Trump. Everything was Trump, trying to get him elected. And so we traveled quite a bit together. But he was just a kid, and I
hmm,
was a professional fundraiser. And so I was working with Don Trump Jr. and several
okay,
private fundraisers. And Don was like, "Hey, I have this kid I want you to work with." And I was like, "No, I'm good. I don't need help." And he was like, "No, can you just do me a favor? Can you just meet with him?" And of course, anybody who meets with Charlie after about 1 minute, you realize he's not a kid. He's not
right,
normal. He's highly intelligent, highly genius. And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, he's spectacular." And so obviously Charlie taught me every single day, and our relationship grew from there. He was more like a mother. I was more of a mother figure to him ish,
okay,
because he was only 2 years older than my son.
yeah,
And so when he and I traveled together, worked together, obviously we were both working side by side, but I viewed him more of a motherly situation when we traveled and worked together. And
sure.
um, but yeah, obviously I learned quite a bit from him
Yeah, wow,
as well.
amazing. I
So
actually I didn't know the full depth of that and your relationship
yeah.
with him. So thank you for telling us that. That's
But
a
at that
unique
time,
perspective.
just like President Trump wasn't President Trump,
Yeah,
and he wasn't beloved everywhere we went.
yeah, yeah,
Everyone hated MAGA. No one knew who Charlie was at
yeah.
that time. Nobody. And so it was a very special time where nobody knew who he was. Candace Owens wasn't on the scene. Nobody knew, it was a very special time where, I kind of got to know him just as
Just as a
Charlie
person
Kirk,
starting
just a
off.
guy.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
right.
I got to
Starting
watch
from
him rise, and it was you never know what's going to happen to somebody, whether they'll make it, whether they won't, whether I
right.
I donated a lot. I got to be on the board, the very first board he had. And I was more just proud of him. It was nice to just watch him. And he was very kind to my children, very gracious. Of course, I went to every Turning Point event, every single one. And they started out very small, and every single person he tried to bring on, but I'd never seen somebody work as hard as he did, ever.
Yeah,
He didn't stop, ever.
yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Really,
Yeah.
that's a cool perspective. So then, you writing this book, I mean, you're not
Yeah.
just somebody who said, "Hey, I'm gonna, you know,
No.
get a compilation of his words and put it together in a book." This is from somebody who, traveled with him, worked with him, knew him,
Yeah.
and knew him from the beginning, which is, I think, really
Yeah.
important. So tell us then. Let's get into the book a little bit. And
Yeah.
first of all, I'm presuming everybody can get it from Amazon. So I would
Yeah. It's
suggest going
everywhere.
there. Yeah, Christy Edwards, and Christy is Christy.
Yep.
Please, check it out. Charlie Kirk in his own words. Tell
Thank
us
you.
about the book. Like, when did you start writing it, and tell me the process that went into it.
Yeah. I've been super quiet. I got out of politics like 6 years ago and needed a break and I needed to be quiet. Um, and Charlie knew that. He knew where I was, and he and I had just kind of had a texting relationship. And I needed to just be quiet. And he was great with that. And um, I had a girlfriend text me and she said, "Did you see this?" And I've had some health issues, some actually pretty serious health issues. And so I've just been quiet. And when I looked up and it was Charlie being shot, and my entire world stopped.
Hmm.
And to watch someone that you like loved as a son, to watch their life end, and I knew he was dead because I work with military and I've had the pleasure of working with Navy SEALs and with military, and I know what a kill shot is. I knew that he was dead. When you watch someone that you love like that die, it my entire world stopped. And I wasn't grieving the way, and I'm a Christian, and I knew where he was. I knew where he was. I wasn't doing well. And I had a grand mal seizure 10 days later.
Mm.
And I saw Charlie when I was unconscious for 45 minutes, just a glimpse of him and when I was unconscious. And so I knew that I was physically falling apart because I wasn't processing my grief of watching him die like that. But it wasn't like, oh, my friend was so important. No, it wasn't that. I had grown from knowing Charlie, loving Charlie, respecting Charlie, but I had also, he'd become a daily part of my healing because I was watching his show every day and I loved it so much and I trusted him. He became someone that I trusted, and all the information that I use in politics, I actually would bounce it off of Charlie. And then all of a sudden, to just know he was now gone, but also gone in my future, meaning now for
Hmm.
the election coming up, the war we're having in Iran, Charlie's gone. His voice is gone now. That was just something that was so big for me. And I just needed a project. So I went through 10,000 text messages that I wasn't even ready to review or go back, and all these photos. And so I just went back into my archives. And when you go back into 10 years of something,
Hmm.
and I'm sure there's thousands of people out there that have the exact same thing I do. I know that. Charlie had a huge life. And so I'm sure there's many people that did the same thing I did. You go back into your phone, you go back into the memories. And I went back into my laptop and I just started going through everything. And I thought, I'm going to just make a book for myself of my memory and my journey, because it was also included 3 presidential elections
Hmm.
as well. I can't even imagine what the Turning Point team went through, or let alone, I didn't want to think about what poor Erica went through.
Right.
And so it was kind of fun and it was healing. There were moments I would start laughing, things I had forgotten about, things we'd done. I mean, his first book tour, um, he and I had a car accident together. I forgot about that. There were so many just things that you forget. I mean, there's so much you do on a political tour that you do forget things. So it was fun. But I came across somebody who was a really good friend of his, a mentor of his, and that was also on the board, Brent Hamachek, who also actually wrote a book, ghost wrote many books for Charlie. But then I came across him and he was so supportive and so helpful. And he actually said, "Hey, you probably should look at this and see if you get it published." And I was like, "Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that." It's just a coffee table book. I was thinking, there's a lot of people in this generation that aren't on X every day, aren't on Instagram every day. Many of them are my friends, and they're in the 70s, 80s, that sit at home, watch Fox News all day. They don't know how to get to X. They don't know how to get to Instagram. They don't know how to look at these beautiful pictures of Charlie. I'm
Right.
constantly texting them to these people. And so I wanted to make this coffee table book where they could just look at it. And so it ended up getting published, long story short. And it's just a book of, I don't know, some precious memories I have, some great pictures that are available. So if people want to have it on their book, and some of the best tweets that I felt Charlie had over many, many, many years. One tweet I think is interesting that he had, I think back in 2011, when he very, very first got on Twitter. Do you want to know what one of his very first tweet? I think it was his first one of his first tweets was ever on Twitter. He said, social media can be the, let's see, it was social media, it can be the death of you, or, social media can ruin a man's life.
Hmm.
Social media can ruin a man's life, which I thought was very prophetic and very interesting, seeing as
Yeah.
how his entire career and his entire life ended up being on social media.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Well, it's sounds like you writing the book, started off as therapeutic for you.
mhm,
I mean, I know that obviously I didn't know him like
mhm,
anywhere near you did, and I know lots of people, including myself, that were really impacted by his
mhm.
death. His
I think
death
the
in
whole world
general,
was.
the whole
Yeah.
world really was. I mean,
Mhm.
it was horrific. It was so tragic. It was
Yeah.
horrible, and it was right there for everyone to see. Most
Yeah.
people don't die out in public like that.
No.
And then, yeah, it was difficult, and so one of the things that really frustrated me, and I'm certain it frustrated you, um, is that after he died, a bunch of people, lots of people who
Yeah.
never really listened to him, maybe heard a sound bite or two here or there, but didn't know the first thing about him really, were pulling a quote out of context, making all sorts of claims on social media. He's racist,
Yeah.
he's white supremacist, he hates women, whatever. Tell me how you processed that and how that impacted you.
Well, on some, I mean, those don't impact me because it's like, great, show me, show me.
Hmm.
Can you show me the quote? Show me where he's a racist. Show me where he's a misogynist. Please show me. Can you show me what you're referencing? I would actually love to talk to those people. Show me the quote. Show me what you're talking about. Please show me what you're referencing, because those are the easy ones, in my opinion. They don't exist. Truth doesn't need to be
Hmm.
defended. Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk does not have one tweet, one quote, one anything where he is a racist, where he is any of those things you just mentioned. He just didn't live his life that way. He didn't speak that way. And any of those accusations don't exist.
Yeah.
And I was with Charlie enough times, and I mean, from beginning till end of the day, where he was attacked repeatedly. Charlie didn't even retaliate. Those video clips that you see him where somebody's ripping his hat off, or he's being pushed or screamed at or yelled at, those aren't just for the video. That actually happened off camera a lot, and Charlie never retaliated. Anybody that knows me knows I have a temper, knows that I will get spicy. And Charlie once said we were at, I think, Idaho, let's see, we were at Idaho, one of the universities in Idaho, I can't remember. Idaho, I don't remember. U of I, maybe Idaho something, I don't know. It's in Pocatello, whatever that's called. And somebody came up and pushed him, took his hat off, and cursed at him. And I was standing next to him. I immediately went ballistic because I was like, "Are you kidding? Like, are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
And Charlie grabbed me, and he was like, "Stop." He's like, don't." And I was like, "All right." Like, he goes, "Just let him." And I was like, "Why?" Like, I was so angry that somebody would dare hurt Charlie, do that to him. And he said, "Christy, why are we here then?" He's like, "If we do that, then we're no better than what they're doing." He's like, "It's fine." He's like, "Just diffuse it and let's keep going." And I thought about that later. At the time, I was too upset, but afterwards, I thought about what Charlie said, and he's right. Why are we here? If we're going to just engage in that and do that and retaliate, his message gets lost.
Hmm.
And now,
Yeah.
especially that Charlie's gone forever, I think about that now all the time. I hear his voice constantly in my head when I want to lose my mind and scream at people
Hmm.
online.
Yeah.
Is he's right. What would Charlie do? I mean, I hate to say that because I know the phrase is "What would Jesus do?" But I have live like Charlie, and I think that all the time. What would Charlie say? What would Charlie say in this moment? How would Charlie handle this? What would Charlie do? And I think he left a really good example for us. But those accusations, they don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. That's a great way to answer it. You know, they don't exist because he wasn't any of those things at all. But that's what the left
Yeah.
calls all of us, right? I mean, they would call
Right.
you that, me,
Yeah.
any of us. They would call all those things without any evidence of it at all. So
Correct.
it's just the way it is. I want
Yeah.
to ask you then about Trump, to an extent. I mean, and we're not here to be
Sure.
political or anything like that, even though I kind of am.
Yeah.
You It sounds like you were on board with Trump fairly
Hmm.
early on. I was
Hmm.
too. Even when I
Hmm.
had people who are very conservative and have voted for him. They at first were like, I don't know, and I get it. I get where they were coming from, but I was listening to him. I was watching
Hmm.
his interviews and his speeches very early on, and I was
Hmm.
like, man, I love what I'm hearing. So tell me about what caused you to be on board so quickly and so strong.
Yeah. For me, I was on board with Trump this day one, minute one, second one. First of all, I had read his books and I had studied Trump. I actually have read every single one of his books, and I would challenge anyone to read them. You will be better for it. He's a good man, but he's a good businessman. I come from the banking world. I have been a banker for 20 years plus, and I'm kind of a black and white personality type, and Trump is too. I don't hit the way he operates makes sense to me. I like that he
Mhm.
doesn't back down to bullies. I like that he is kind of a no nonsense kind of guy. He doesn't cater to people. He didn't take money in his first when he was first running, even as a primary. He didn't take money. He paid for his own campaign because he didn't want to have to answer to anybody. He didn't want to have
Yeah.
to compromise. I like that when he was up there against Ted Cruz and Jeb Bush and everybody else, that he was just saying what he felt. He was not going to play the political game. And in my opinion, that was a clean sweep. He kind of made politics fun again. He was
Mhm.
definitely entertaining. But he had my vote because he kind of said what everyone was thinking and
Yeah.
feeling. And here's the best part: when he got into office, he delivered. And
Yep.
I think people kind of forget that. He delivered on every single thing he said he was going to do, but he also did it in like his first year. I think
Mhm.
that's what people forget. Politicians take forever and they have 101 excuses as to why they can't get something done. Trump got in there and got it done in the first freaking, well, I mean, in his second term, he got it done like what, on night one? He literally goes from his ball to the Oval Office and he's signing orders, getting things undone because Biden couldn't get anything done. And so he's undoing every single thing that the auto pen did,
Right.
and he's undoing corruption. And the part that blows my mind the most is Trump is using his own money to better our country. And I don't know how you criticize a guy for that. And let's not forget that he's not taking a salary. He's
Right.
donating it to the veterans. He's not taking our tax dollars as a salary. He's actually donating his salary, and yet the other side still has the audacity to criticize him. And the worst part about this that really infuriates me is we've got people like the Romneys, who did want to work for him, by the way, who interviewed
Mhm.
for him. Charlie and I were in Trump Tower when that was happening. We were watching this, and in the first round, first sorry, I get both of them mixed up.
Yeah.
But we've got the Bushes, the Obamas, the Romneys. Now they're all. I'm sorry, which side are you on? Pick one. But they're all just anti-Trump. At some point, we all have to look at that and ask why. Why are you all anti-Trump? Because he's producing, because he's doing something you guys couldn't do.
Mhm.
And to me, that's really sad. That's really sad that all of a sudden now, what, you're not even a Republican? Now you're not a conservative because he hurt Jeb Bush's feelings? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my politics aren't tied to whether my feelings are hurt. I don't
Right.
change my conservatism, my morals, my values, my faith because my feelings get hurt. And that's what's been astounding to me. People that I used to read their books and I voted for, Bush, Romney. I worked on Romney's campaign. My children stood in line to sit and shake Romney's hand and meet with him. It's so disappointing to me that these people who I respected and voted for turn their backs on President Bush because they're embarrassed. Because he's outproduced them.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump delivers. He does what he says he's going to do. He's epic. He's the best. In my opinion, he is the best president we have ever had in the United States. He has worked his butt off for the people, and he has given his entire future to America.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah. Amazing amazing words. I couldn't agree with you more, to be honest with you. I really do. He was so refreshing to listen to in debates and everything, because like you said, he just spoke like a normal person. Whereas, some of these other people, like I voted for George Bush too. I couldn't stand listening to him or seeing him interviewed. It was painful. And these people, like I would also agree, if you say, oh, Trump's mean to my brother, or Trump was mean to John McCain, I'm going to vote for Hillary. Well,
yeah, exactly.
How could that be? Then you're not conservative.
Yeah.
You never were.
Exactly.
And we saw that left and right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, even
well,
like when
I
Dick
mean,
Cheney died last year, like they didn't invite him to the funeral. What
Right.
is wrong with you?
right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think his daughter,
Ugh.
Liz Cheney. Yeah. I mean, you saw what she became, and that's their true color, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So a lot of these people were exposed. There's definitely jealousy. I think these people who are these elitists are jealous of him coming in and shaking things up and getting things done. 100% agree. Yeah. Well, this has been extremely enjoyable talking with you,
Yeah, me
honestly.
too.
And you have a great perspective and background and experience, and you were front and center for a lot of things. And
Thank you.
I'm definitely grateful that you wrote this book, because Charlie Kirk truly was an American hero, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people's opinion. And
Thank you. And I
your
should mention
perspective.
really
Yeah.
quick, the book, 100% of all proceeds are being donated. I will not be benefiting at all. I'm actually out a lot of money
Hmm.
doing the book. I made sure it was top quality, top dollar, top everything. But 100% of any proceeds are being donated to a nonprofit, Carry the Torch. And it's basically anybody that wants to potentially try to be the next Charlie Kirk. We're looking for
Amazing.
any young talent. Yeah. But I could never take $1 off of anything to do with Charlie's death. And so I
Okay.
just want that to be very clear, that this is nothing
Yeah.
to do with any profit or anything like that.
Wonderful.
So
Thanks
yeah,
for letting us know that. And so the book is
yeah,
Charlie Kirk in His Own Words. Just
yeah,
you can find it wherever you get books, by
yes,
author and our wonderful guest, Christy Edwards,
yeah. Thank you.
sharing firsthand knowledge and experience and relationship with Charlie Kirk and many others. Obviously, you got to experience as well. So, Christy
Yeah.
Edwards, thank you so much. It was a real
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking with you.
Yes, you as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you, and thank all of you for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know I did. So please continue to listen, and we will see you next time.